Alrighty, everybody, here we go. Hi there, Carson Meredith with you on a Sunday night. It is 7:36. It is October 26th, and I hope you're doing well. Not much sunshine to talk about, unfortunately, over the next few days. It's been gloomy, it's been cool, and now it's starting to get a little damp. We've got our first wave of rain moving in pretty much as we speak, and that's going to be the first of multiple waves of rain that we'll be dealing with over the next 3 or 4 days. So that is the big talker tonight. We'll look at all of the rain chances ahead. We'll look ahead to Halloween. And we'll also look at Hurricane Melissa, which, as you guys know, is going to be a horrible, horrible situation for our friends down in the Caribbean. So a lot to cover tonight. But before we go any further, let us remind you that the Snow Guest contest rolls on. What is it, 5 more days? 4.5, I guess. You got until noon Friday, guys. You got until noon on Halloween. Again, like I said last night, a lot of you probably watching me on your phones right now, so you can't scan that QR code. I get it. No big deal. But go back and watch this video later on a laptop. Scan that QR code, or go to the top of the Wave Weather app. There's a yellow box that says Snow Guest Contest. If you click on that, that'll get you to sign up for the contest there, too. If you don't know what we're doing, remember, all you have to do is tell us when you think Louisville International Airport, Muhammad Ali International Airport, will see its first 1-inch snowfall this winter. Pick a day, any day. It could be gut feeling. You could do research, whatever you want to do. If you guess the closest, you get a VIP tour of Wave Studios. You get to watch a newscast. You get to watch Brian's vlog. You get to do all the cool stuff around Wave, and you get to be our snow ambassador. We're going to be talking to you a lot throughout winter with updated snowfall amounts at your house, what you're seeing on the roads, things like that. So keep that in mind. You got to have a way to talk to us during the winter, be it Zoom or, maybe FaceTime. Maybe we can find a way to make that work. I don't know. But running out of time, 4.5 days until that contest is over. You got until noon on Friday on Halloween. All right, here's radar. And there's a lot of green, isn't there? We're finally starting to see better moisture amounts moving into wave country. It's been this battle all weekend between that dry air that's been locked in versus that moisture that's been trying to kick out the dry air and take over. And we're starting to see that moisture really filter in tonight. Now, some of this rain is still not reaching the ground. Some of it is coming out of the clouds, but it's still evaporating. At least some of it is. But we're seeing more and more rain now compared to where we've been so far this weekend. So let's zoom in on the metro first, where we've had some of those raindrops move in over the last hour or so. And it's really not worth pinpointing who's seeing rain and who's not. But you notice mainly the southern half of Louisville getting in on some of that lighter shower action at this point. Further to the south, actually, hold on, let's go further west. You can see some of these darker greens over Meade County into Perry County, Du Bois County. That's some steadier rain that's coming down. But keep in mind, while the moisture is starting to finally work its way in, that drier air is still trying to hold on. So we still got this tug of war. And the northern fringe of this rain shield, let me zoom back out. I'll show you what I'm talking about. This northern edge that you see from French Lick, Paoli, down towards basically Louisville and down towards Shelbyville, that's kind of as far as the rain shield can go at this point, because further off to the north, you got a lot of dry air still holding on. So as we put that radar into motion over the last 3 hours, see how it's kind of like a brick wall? It's pretty crazy, isn't it? That's truly where the battle line is between all the moisture to the south and all the drier air to the north. And that battle line really isn't going to change a whole lot over the next 24 hours. So that's why our rain chances are much higher further to the south, down near the Kentucky parkways, down closer to Bowling Green. That's why the rain chances are much lower up towards Bedford, Seymour, North Vernon, and Madison. And that's why the rain chances here in Louisville and along I-64 are kind of right in the middle, right? So the rain chances are lower to the north, higher to the south, and about 40% here in the metro and along I-64. Hopefully that makes sense. It's a very complex, big picture setup that we're going to have to be dealing with over the next few days. But in general, if you live south of that blue line I drew, you've got the better rain chances tonight and into Monday. And if you live north of this blue line, your rain chances are going to be lower. Hopefully that is a nice, simple way, maybe too simple of a way to explain where things stand at this point. We'll go through the comments. Who's here? Braden's here. Hello, hello. Albert's here. Ann's here. Shonda's here. ZK. Anita's here. Yeah, good fall evening. Just lay low. Keep the Sunday scaries away. Just watch Sunday Night Football on Wave. Just sit back and listen to us talk about the weather. Good night to just settle in, right? Angela's here. Blue's here. Let's see. Storm Chaser Jason. All is well here. Thank you for asking. Gary says hello from a damp Pee Wee Valley. Yeah, Pee Wee Valley, right on the edge of that rain shield. Right on that blue line, Gary, that I got drawn there on radar. Sean says hello. Saw me driving by you, huh, Sean? Everybody knows where I live now. Oh, no, I'm kidding, Sean. Appreciate you. Hope you're doing well down there in Taylorsville. Let's see. Michael C. Wells, how you doing over there on Twitter? Going camping early next week. How's it looking? Hold that thought, Michael. I'll get to the 10-day towards the end of our chat here tonight. So you got the view of radar. You kind of have a big picture view of how this is all going to play out over the next 24 hours. Let's zoom things out. And you can see where that low is. The lows and the fronts you see on these maps, they are drawn by computers. So they're pretty good, but they're not always 100% spot on. I'd say the lows may be a little further north, maybe closer to Memphis and Jonesboro, Arkansas. So it's got the right idea, but you can see we're on the northern flank of that low. So that means we're going to be stuck in the rain shield at times. But as we've talked about, it's this battle between drier air versus moisture. And depending on where you are, that's going to decide just how much rain you're going to see tonight and into the day on Monday. And it's not going to consistently rain nonstop over the next 24 hours in most spots. There's going to be some breaks. So when you look at the rain chances here in the next little bit, you're going to see ups and downs. So some breaks and sometimes when there's more widespread rain. But this first low pressure is going to kind of meander its way towards the mountains, towards the Carolinas into Virginia, and eventually just kind of dissipate. So it's not necessarily going to get cleaned out of our area totally just yet. But as it moves further east, we'll be under less of an influence from it. And that's why we'll start to wind down those rain chances, at least briefly, around this time tomorrow night. That's the live view of downtown from Jeffersonville. It's all quiet, even with some raindrops in the air. 58 our current temperature. If you were watching us last night, we said the dew points were in the upper 30s. Now they are in the low 40s. So still seeing that moisture creeping back in just a bit. As we mentioned, it's kind of a wide range of rain chances tonight, depending on if you're in that drier air or that moisture. Here in Louisville, it's a 40% shower chance tonight. Southern Indiana, and I'm talking up towards Bedford, Seymour, Madison, that rain chance is around 20. Further south, down towards E-Town, Bardstown, Litchfield, Greensburg, Campbellsville, it's a 60% chance. So 20 north, 40 central, 60 south with those rain chances tonight. Forecast lows in the 40s to near 50. Not a big temperature swing because of all that cloud cover, right? Clouds keep us warmer at night. They keep us cooler during the day. So here's those rain chances for tomorrow. See what I mean with the kind of ups and downs? Some drier time in the morning, more showers in the afternoon. This is what we mean. So this initial wave of rain that we're seeing now, it's going to eventually I don't want to say dissipate because that makes it sound like it's going to be totally dry. It's going to weaken as we go through the night. And I think by the morning commute tomorrow, when you're watching Tawana on sunrise, there's only going to be some isolated showers around, at least here in the city. But as we go into the afternoon, we're going to get kind of another push of moisture as that low pressure continues to scoot by. And when that happens, you see that spike in the rain chances around midday, maybe as early as 11 a.m., and continuing into the afternoon. And we'll keep that same rain chance going, where it's 20% chance north, 40% chance here in Louisville, which is what you see here, and a 60% chance further south. That's the same general trend that we're going to have for the next 24 hours. Once we get to this time tomorrow night, most of that moisture from this first low pressure will start to move east. And while we can't completely wipe out the rain chances, we will get a decent break in the action tomorrow night and into the day on Tuesday. Tuesday night is when things get a little busy yet again. So here we go with Futurecast. This is the HRRR model, the high resolution rapid refresh model. And it's doing a nice job pinpointing this initial push of moisture with the better rain coverage across our central Kentucky communities. But as the night goes on, let me slow it down a little bit. As the night goes on, you just see how that initial push of moisture kind of fades. So we're going to see most of this rain fizzle as the evening progresses, as we head later into the night, because that drier air will try to sneak back in. The lone exception to that would be for those of you down in, let's say, Green, Hart, Taylor, and Adair County. There may be just enough moisture right on the southern edge of wave country to keep that rain going all night. Most of us, though, should see a little bit of a break by sunrise tomorrow morning. Still cloudy, still kind of damp from the showers we've already seen or what we will see. So still plan an extra couple minutes getting out the door in the morning, but I don't expect to see a ton of rain actively falling during the Monday morning rush hour. However, as we get into Monday afternoon, here comes that next push of moisture as this low continues to push east. And you still kind of see, remember that blue line I drew? Let me redraw it here. Kind of that same general idea. Basically along and south of I-64, where there's going to be more moisture to work with, that's where your rain chances are going to be higher. This is for Monday afternoon around 1 o'clock. Keep on going. Now, to be clear, if you're up near Bedford, Seymour, and Madison, I'm not saying you're not going to see any rain at all. You see, maybe even a few showers do sneak that far north tomorrow afternoon. It's just you're not going to see quite as much rain further north compared to your neighbors in Louisville, Shelbyville, and especially down towards E-Town, Bardstown, and Litchfield. So hope that makes sense. This is 6 o'clock tomorrow evening. Still want to have the umbrellas handy for sure if you're heading out for dinner tomorrow night. If you're heading home from work, there will likely be rain falling during the Monday evening commute. But we get past sunset Monday night. There could still be a couple of sporadic showers out there, but nothing as widespread as what we will have seen earlier in the day on Monday. So that's part one. Let me see what comments I can answer or questions I can answer. And more shout outs. Judy says hello. Cool and damp where Judy's watching us tonight. Susan's watching us over at the state capitol. Appreciate you guys over in Franklin County. Albert's got rain where he's at in Finchville. Light rain in Valley Station. Thank you, Harold. Shonda says sprinkling just a little bit when she left Charlestown a few minutes ago. Tanya's here. Alicia's here down in Mount Washington. Tom's here on YouTube. DJ King, hello, hello. Jacob. A lot of you here tonight. Love it, love it, love it. All right. Michelle has a good question before we move on. Any allergies currently? The ragweed is really winding down. Now that we've had our first widespread frost, that has really put an end to the ragweed season, which is awesome. If you're struggling with some asthma issues, Michelle, that could be just because of all the moisture in the air. Perhaps you have a mold pollen issue. That would be the only thing I can think of from an allergy standpoint, because the ragweed has really tapered off here since we had our frost back on Thursday and Friday morning. So hope that makes sense. Tom says his granny's got heavy rain in Campbellsville out in Taylor County. Yeah, that sounds about right. Better steady rain will be down in Taylor County and down in central Kentucky as the night goes on. Okay, so here's part two. Tuesday will be in between systems during the day. Here's the remnants of the first low that's going to give us the rain now, tonight, and Monday. Tuesday will kind of be in between. It'll be cloudy. It'll be cool. Highs in the 50s Tuesday. That's it. It's still going to feel a little damp. There's still perhaps could be a few pop-up lighter showers Tuesday. It's during the day. It's only a 20% chance, but the chance is still there. But as you get into late Tuesday night, here comes the next system. And this system is going to have a ton more moisture to work with. It's not going to have to battle drier air. And it's going to add rain to the buckets pretty quickly. So it's really after midnight Tuesday night, I think, when the rain chances really surge as this second low moves in. You notice how this surface low really deepens, which means it strengthens and develops out in the Ozarks in Missouri and Arkansas. For us, that means widespread rain because we'll once again be on the north and northeastern side of the low. And we're going to be in that sweet spot for the highest rainfall totals as this second low moves through Tuesday night and into Wednesday. You see it on the top at the banner. I'm going to go ahead and call Wednesday a washout. Is it going to rain every single second? It may not, but it will be raining for nearly the entire day on Wednesday. Don't have to worry about thunderstorms necessarily. We don't really have to worry. We don't have to worry about severe weather at all. And I'm not really worried about storms either, just in general. But a lot of times when these low pressures start to deepen, when they start to intensify, you get these bands of heavier rain that try to show up on the northern and northeastern sides of it. And obviously, we're going to be in that sweet spot. So that gives me a little concern as we go through the day on Wednesday that there could be some bands of heavy rain that develop, excuse me, which could cause some minor flooding issues. It's not going to be like we saw earlier in October, where I think we had 4 inches of rain in Louisville, 4.22, if I remember correctly. I remember that day well. I was getting water out of my parents' basement that day. It was rough. I don't think we're looking at anything like that necessarily, but I would not be surprised if we had some rainfall amounts closer to 2, maybe even 3 inches in a few isolated locations if we see those bands of heavier rain develop as this low pressure moves through. This is for Wednesday. I'm just going to go ahead and call it a washout at this point, unfortunately. So we get into Wednesday evening. You see that low continues to dig. It continues to deepen. It continues to grow stronger as it dives into the Tennessee Valley. We're still socked into this soaking rain. And as we talked about last night, there's still some questions as to how quickly this low can get out of here. Well, the trend today, and I'm always hesitant to talk about this kind of a trend, but the trend today has been to get this low out of here rather quickly. So it digs into the Tennessee Valley Wednesday night and then starts to ride up the mountains, moving to the East Coast by lunchtime on Thursday, which is fairly quick. It's much quicker than what the models were suggesting last night when we chatted. So I'm hesitant to say that it'll move that quickly, but I do think by Thursday night, we should be drying things out pretty good. I'll keep a rain chance in for Thursday morning, especially, but I'm fairly optimistic Thursday night we'll be drying things out. But a lot of times these models can go a little too fast with the speeds of these lows for whatever reason. Sometimes they go too fast, and that means we get stuck with the rain longer. So that's why I'm approaching Thursday cautiously. Thursday's not a washout, but there will still be some rain around early in the day on Thursday. So that's part two. When all is said and done this week, we are looking at a solid 1 to 2 inches of rain area-wide. For you guys in southern Indiana, a lot of you will see most of that rain Tuesday night and Wednesday, not so much tonight and Monday. If you're down in central Kentucky, though, south of Louisville, where you see some of these yellows, this is where we could see those isolated spots that pick up 2 to maybe 3 inches of rain. Again, most of this rain is going to fall Tuesday night and Wednesday, but those of you down in central Kentucky tonight are already seeing some lighter rain. It's not going to add up to much, maybe a quarter inch for this first round, but it'll still be a pretty wet ground when the second round comes in with that more substantial rain Tuesday night into Wednesday. So again, I'm not worried about significant flooding or anything like that. There could be some minor trouble spots we have to watch on Wednesday when it comes to flooding. So I'm sure the big question you guys have after 20 minutes of rambling is, what does all this mean for Halloween? Right now, Halloween's looking pretty good. It will be chilly, though. In fact, it's trending cooler for Halloween on Friday, as you see the latest update of Hurricane Melissa, which I will have for you here in just a moment, which it's not going to be good, I'm afraid. Wavy's always working, though. But as far as Halloween is concerned, I've dropped the high temperature to 56. So it's going to be a cool Halloween. Could be breezy, too, but it's looking pretty dry. I'm keeping a 10% chance in just to be super duper safe, because I don't want to say on Sunday night that we're going to be dry on Halloween and we get to Halloween and something wild happens. But I feel good about a mostly, if not totally dry Halloween. But it will be chilly, 56 during the day, and we will likely fall pretty quickly into the upper 40s by trick-or-treating time. So may not have to worry about rain gear with those costumes, but you might need those heavier jackets as we head into Friday night, okay? And let's also not forget, before we talk about Melissa, that next Sunday, we get an hour of sleep, but we fall back an hour as daylight saving time comes to an end. We are 7 days away from that. Really Saturday night into Sunday morning of next weekend. You'll want to fall back an hour, push those clocks back an hour. Always a good time to check your smoke detector batteries. Always a good time to check your NOAA weather radio batteries as well. We always encourage that with the time change. That will mean an extra hour of sleep next Saturday night, which I will love. But it also means the sunsets will be an hour earlier to be more like 540 instead of 640 as we get towards next weekend. So that's the story here at home, guys. Let's talk about Melissa. I'm seeing this information as you are. So this is the 8 o'clock advisory that just came in. And Melissa is still a category 4. That doesn't give me much comfort because it's still a monster. It's a buzzsaw. I mean, look at that thing, guys. That is a classic buzzsaw major hurricane that's going to be a disaster for Jamaica as we go over the next couple of days. I mean, look how pronounced that eye is. My goodness. It's a pretty compact hurricane too, but it's incredibly, incredibly, incredibly powerful. 145 mile per hour winds with gust up to 175 miles per hour. Keep in mind, that's right at the eye wall of Hurricane Melissa. It is about a little over 100 miles southwest of Jamaica. Kingston is the capital of Jamaica. And as we go through the next couple of days, unfortunately, you see that Melissa is just going to meander south of Jamaica for the next 36 hours. So all the way until Tuesday morning. The Hurricane Center forecast still has Melissa becoming a Cat 5 sometime tomorrow and potentially making landfall as a Cat 5 Tuesday morning. That would be absolutely horrific. Rainfall amounts are going to be on the order of 1 to 2 feet, with isolated locations seeing up to 3 feet of rain. Jamaica has a lot of terrain, and so that's going to lead to mudslides, I should say. So keep Jamaica in your prayers, thoughts, whatever you believe, because this is going to be a rough ride over the next 48 hours. As we go later into the week, the big trough that's going to be giving us all the rain this week, that's finally going to clear us out, is going to kick Melissa out to sea. So we do not have to worry about Melissa in the United States. You do notice, however, Wednesday, Melissa makes a second landfall over the southern parts of Cuba, still as a major hurricane, goes through the southern Bahamas, gets close to Turks and Caicos, and right here, Thursday night into Friday morning, still maintains its hurricane strength. Not a major hurricane, but still a Cat 1, and it's headed right for Bermuda as we get towards Thursday night and Friday. So this is going to be, it's going to be bad. I don't like to be dramatic like that because I'm here to give you facts, not hype. But this is going to be a pretty rough deal for our friends in the Caribbean over the next 3 to 5 days, especially Jamaica. So all the best to our friends down there, because this is going to be bad. This will definitely be in my mind, this is probably going to be the red letter storm of 2025. So we'll keep watching as the week unfolds. Here comes your 10-day back here at home. You see the wet weather setup we have now through Thursday morning, with our first wave of showers now through tomorrow evening. A little break on Tuesday during the day, and then Tuesday night and Wednesday looks very, very wet and cold too. It's going to be a cold, damp, dreary rain. 54. That's it for Wednesday and Thursday. Halloween looks good for now. Chilly, but it looks dry. 56. Next weekend is a little fuzzy. And it all comes down to what happens with this second low. There's some indications that we're going to get basically an upper level low develop in the Great Lakes and into southern Canada next weekend. And you're just going to have little spokes on the wheel, if you will, or you're going to have little disturbances, little vorts riding around that low pressure into our area next weekend. One of those little vorts, one of those little disturbances could give us a few showers in wave country Saturday night and early Sunday. The European model has been pretty consistent on that for a few days. So for now, we're going to bump up that rain chance for Saturday evening to around 30%. Hopefully we can knock that down with time, but just kind of want to give you that earliest alert that Saturday night into early Sunday could have a few more showers to deal with. And then as we head into the first full week of November, I know, Michael, you were out there asking about the first week of November for your camping trip. It looks chilly. It looks chilly. We're talking about highs in the 50s for the first week of November, or at least a good chunk of it. Not necessarily an unsettled pattern at this point, but it just looks chilly. A lot of times in November, we kind of see a spike to near 70, maybe even some 80s. I think last year, November, we had a couple of highs in the 80s early in the month. Not this year. Definitely going to stay on the cooler side, closing out October and heading into November. So that's where we are, guys. Let's go through the comments. I'll leave the 10-day up and we'll call it a night. What do you say? Lost my spot as where I was chatting with you guys before. Okay, here we go. ZK, this cold weather just gave me the flu. Oh, that stinks. Sorry, ZK. Hope you're on the mend soon. Tom, Wednesday officially labeled a gully washer. Indeed. Indeed. Will this rain be like it was this past spring? No, not at all. Not at all. Still solid 1 to 2 inches of rain, but, go back in the spring. I mean, in April, we had, almost a foot of rain in some spots in 4 days. Nothing like that here, thankfully. Sean, is that a snow mix I see along the North Carolina border? Where's Cameron? Where is Cameron? Where is he? He hasn't asked me about snow grids. I know he usually asks Brian that, but he's asked me that before too. Yeah, there's a chance as that low moves through, I guess it would be on Thursday, that there could be some snowflakes mixing in the higher levels of the Smokies. That's possible. Any alert day potential for Wednesday? My only alert day concern for Wednesday would probably be if we do see more widespread amounts of 2+ inches of rain. Right now it looks isolated. Most spots will be around 1 to 2. But if we see more spots get potentially over 2 inches of rain, I wouldn't be shocked if we had to go red on Wednesday. No severe weather, just heavy rain and maybe some flooding. We'll watch it, but nothing too alarming right now. Weather Geek, sorry I'm late. No worries. No worries. We're still here. Let's see. And hate when the time changes. Yeah, it's still a thing. It would require an act of Congress for that to be changed. I will leave that comment at that. But yeah, it's still a thing. Shonda recommends changing the furnace filters. Yeah, that's another good idea too with the time change. Smoke detector batteries, no weather radio. Might be a good idea to change those furnace filters, especially as we head into November. It's going to get colder, and a lot of you are going to be turning on your heaters and furnaces in the days and weeks to come. Let's see. Shonda, where is Steele, Missouri? Yeah, you saw Wavy with that little earthquake notification. That's right in the boot heel of Missouri, I believe. Right near the New Madrid Fault. Let me look it up here real quick on Google Maps. Let's see here. Yeah. Steele, Missouri is a tiny little town right in the boot heel of Missouri. So there you go, right on the New Madrid Fault. James, good question. When do you think we'll reach freezing temps again? Nothing screams freezing temps anytime soon, mainly because of all the clouds and the rain. But it I'm tired. I can't talk. I'm sorry. It does look like, there we go, we could see some near freezing temperatures by the end of that first week of November. So like the 7th, 8th, 9th, maybe in that ballpark. We'll see. Nothing definitive yet. Braden, I wonder if Wavy is going to have a Santa hat on when Wave Weather Now starts playing Christmas music. That'll be happening soon. Not sure how Wavy's going to dress up for Christmas this year. We'll see. Kevin, hello. Driving to Danville tomorrow morning. Will it be a rainy drive? If you're going tomorrow morning, I don't think it'll be full-on rain. There might be some lighter showers you have to dodge from time to time, but nothing too steady in Danville at that point. It'll be closer to the Tennessee border. Later in the day, yes, that steady rain will come back, closer to lunchtime especially. All right. That's all I got, guys. I apologize for keeping you all so long. We had so much to talk about tonight. It's Sunday Night Football. Y'all know that. Packers-Steelers. Good game tonight. Aaron Rodgers playing his old team for the first time. Once football's done, we will be on Wave News, hopefully around 11:30 or 11:45. If you're still awake, we hope you'll tune in. If not, sleep well. Have a good week. Keep the umbrella handy. Brian will be back with the blog in the morning. And I'm taking some time off. You will not see me next weekend. Thanks to the rest of the crew for covering for me next weekend. I'm going to take me a nice little break, and we'll be back at it again on weekends in a couple of weeks. So appreciate you guys, as always, for tuning in on weekends. And the rest of the crew will be here to take care of you as we head into Halloween and into the first few days of November. All right, guys, that is it for now. I will talk to you guys again either tonight after football or later in November. See you later.